Here are 11 tips for surviving divorce. First, did you know that 69% of all divorces are initiated by the wife? This is a key statistic for those who may be contemplating divorce. With proper planning, women may be able to level the playing field. And I say women because usually the non-wage earning spouse, which in the majority of the times is the woman, but not always, the non-wage earning spouse is at a disadvantage because they've not generally been involved in the managing and the building of the assets. So with proper planning, these tips can help you level the playing field. Tip number 1, speak with a well-qualified family law attorney before you begin the divorce process. Now, I know it may be tempting to storm out of the house in a blaze of glory and file for divorce, but without proper planning, you could be doing yourself more harm than good. Speak to your attorney. He may advise you on different tactics that you can do, such as gathering information about the community assets, gathering financial statements, and preparing things in advance before you go out in the proverbial blaze of glory. Tip number 2 to survive divorce: learn your finances and copy documents. Make copies of everything. You can find 3 years worth of tax statements, copies of the employee benefit statements, investment statements, retirement account statements, mortgage statements, financial statements if you have one. Just know as much and get as much information as you can. Also, know key passwords for all the different accounts. You may not need the documents. If you have the passwords, then great. You have information, you have access to all the information that you'll probably need. Tip number 3 to survive divorce: deal in facts rather than feelings. Start by making a budget. Learn how much it costs to be you. Do some financial planning. And this is where you can seek the advice of a certified divorce financial analyst to help you with that process. Do some longer term financial planning. See what things might look like for you financially in 10, 15, or 20 years if you do decide to pursue the divorce. Approach it with a rational mind instead of an emotional mind, and it can serve you in your best interest. Okay, tip number 4 to survive divorce is understand the rules and process first. To the extent that you can, educate yourself on your state's divorce laws. Understand, for example, if you, as a spouse that's been married for X number of years, may be entitled to spousal alimony, or if you're precluded from any type of spousal alimony. Understand the implications of community property versus separate property, and know your own balance sheet once you've educated yourself with that, for example, to see which of your assets would be most likely characterized as community property assets and which low ends would be characterized as separate property assets. Tip number 5, get help from professionals. By professionals, I just don't mean from a family law attorney. You need a whole team. You need the family law attorney, of course. You may need a CPA involved. You may need a certified divorce financial analyst involved. You definitely will need a therapist, whether you think you need it or not. Even a personal trainer to help you take care of your physical self as well as your mental health. It can take a whole team. In addition to your friends and family and your emotional support group, you need a team of professionals to help you through the process. It's a grind, and the more people you have on your side who know what they're doing, know what you are doing, they're doing, and can give you objective advice, the better off you'll be. Okay, tip number 6 to survive divorce: keep an open mind when it comes to the house. Oftentimes, and I don't mean to sound misogynistic, but the woman will want to stay in the house. Well, there's a lot of implications that go along with that. Generally, the house and the equity in the house is one of the bigger assets in a divorce. So automatically assuming that you're going to keep the house can have implications about the other assets that you'll get. For example, if you live in $1 million house, you have $500,000 worth of equity and $1 million in an investment account of the rest of your assets, great. That's a great community. That's a great asset. You're ahead of the game than most people. But if you take the house, that's $500,000 worth of equity, and then you're left with a much lower portion of that $1 million investment account in general. So keep an open mind. It may be best for you to move out of the house and sell the house, take the equity, give the house to your soon-to-be ex-husband, and evaluate it more objectively. Don't just assume that you're going to stay in the house no matter what. Tip number 7 to survive divorce: don't make impulsive decisions. Don't decide to change jobs, change cities, change careers, change houses. There's a lot of stress involved in that. There's no need to increase your stress while you're going through an already stressful process. Tip number 8, protect yourself. Consider opening up bank accounts before you begin the process, bank accounts that are just in your name. Consider taking some of the money out, subject to what your attorney advises, to give yourself some cushion, taking it out of the joint account into your separate property account that you just, or your single account that you just opened up. Again, consult with your attorney for that, but that's one thing to consider. Also, cyber-wise, protect yourself. Change your passwords to your Facebook account, Instagram account, your social media accounts. Change passwords on your separate property accounts if they're your accounts, so that your soon-to-be ex doesn't have unfettered access to those accounts. But tip number 9, consider your insurance and coverage, your health insurance coverage. Now may be the time, if you're covered on your spouse's insurance, to have those medical procedures done, to have the checkups before you incur a bunch of expenses that may not be covered during a period where you don't have insurance, if you don't have insurance set up right away, or after you've already met your deductibles, it's better off to use the existing insurance policy. Elective procedures? Sure, go ahead and getting those. Tip number 10, be patient. The divorce process is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Divorces can take 1, 2, even up to 3 years. So be ready for that. Be ready emotionally and physically for the battle that you may be going into. All right, tip number 11 to survive divorce. Be open to saving your marriage. Just like you wouldn't abandon a business if you had 2 bad years in a row, it may not be worth it to abandon your marriage just because you had 2 bad years in a row. Some things are fixable. Try to address them first. Marriage is extremely tough. I would argue that divorce is tougher. It's just condensed into a shorter amount of time. So consider trying to save the marriage if at all possible. Generally, the more assets that you have, probably the more or the better idea it is to have a CDFA to guide you through the process. In general, if the more assets that you have, the divorce can take a longer amount of time. There's also a lot more decision points to make, such as whether you should take a big portion of your soon-to-be ex's retirement plan or take assets in a taxable account. Again, take a vacation home or take your personal home. So the more assets that you have, or the more complicated you think the divorce is going to be, or if you are just the type of person that wants to have that person on your team to be there with you, to give you objective advice about a myriad of subjects, then hire a certified divorce financial analyst. So if you liked any of the content in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it. Thank you.